Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Zord Bay. Today we're picking up where we left off last time with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1. Today we're going to be discussing a couple things. The Rangers, their weapons, and most importantly, what we all came here for, their Zords. So, Mighty Morphin Season 1 had Jason, the Red Ranger, the first leader of the team. We had Zach, the Black Ranger, Trini, the Yellow Ranger, Kimberly, the Pink Ranger, Billy, the Blue Ranger, and then eventually Tommy, the Green Ranger. Let's we're not going to delve too deep into anything here, but let's just back and forth talk a little bit about the characters. So,
I think, of course there's Tommy, which, as we said, and I think everybody knows he's the most popular character. He's kind of when he comes in, of course, he's a bad guy, which, we that all changes as everybody knows. So it's like, you go from this, like, he's being taken over by the green power coin, and Rita puts, like, evil into it, right?
Yeah. Well, Rita had her hands on the green coin. Apparently Zordon lost it centuries ago to her, some way, and she was able to cast a spell over Tommy and brainwash him.
Yeah.
So he works for her. Comes in great rival for Jason. Kind of a dent in Jason's ego when someone is just as good as him in everything he does. Able to beat him in a karate match, able to attack him with in the Rangers and take them all down. So that was kind of a big deal at the time. It had never been done. So.
Not a whole lot of really character. Honestly, there's really the first season, and actually, you get to the end of Mighty Morphin, there's a little bit more character development, but a lot of these first six Rangers, there's just not a whole lot of character development. I think, we bring up Tommy first.
They're stereotypes, more or less. Later seasons they do.
Billy's the Blue Ranger. He's the nerdy, geeky, smart, overachieving, smart kid who. He's really good with tech and stuff, as all kids back in the 90s were, and 80s.
Yeah.
So, and, you have Kimberly.
Kimberly was your archetype valley girl, blonde, didn't want to, and not really blonde, but like ditzy gymnastics kind of girl, didn't want to be a part of it, but she still helped out.
Yeah, a little bit stuck up the first season. They have Zach.
Zach was your favorite, wasn't he?
Yeah, Zach was my favorite growing up. He liked to dance around and stuff, and he was, even in the opening credits, that we all remember him dancing.
Oh yeah, doing his hip hop keto.
Yeah, really hip hop keto is
as all kids in the 90s were. You had Trini, who was the. I'd like to say Trini was the heart of the team. She was the one that, I don't think she got tons of development. But she definitely was the one that cared about everyone. And, you could say the mother of the team, kind of thing. You had Jason, who was the leader. He was the decision maker. Zach was a good second in command. They didn't give a lot of times where he got to lead, but there was times where he had to keep Jason in check with a few things. We're not getting into too much more character development. That's not what this is all about. We're just going to jump right from here, right into their weapons. All Rangers came equipped with their trusty Blade Blaster, which was the red gun. If you guys haven't noticed, we're putting pictures up. So, it was the gun that transformed into a sword. Very cool.
Yeah.
Probably one of the best sidearms they've had. Yeah, for functionality.
Didn't really utilize it nearly as much as you would think you'd utilize a weapon you carry right on your hip.
Maybe it's just me, but if I had a small transforming gun sword on my hip, I probably wouldn't be doing karate as much.
No.
I would be shooting every monster that came in my direction. Even the ones that weren't, because we're there to stop the monsters. Why would I karate chop a monster when I can just shoot them down?
Yeah, that's what I say. I remember just as a kid and rewatching it as an adult, them hardly ever using that sidearm.
Maybe that's not very Ranger-like of us, but maybe that's why we haven't gotten power coins. So, there was an extension to the Blade Blasters called the Thunder Slingers, even more so underutilized. They were sent. Jason and Tommy were sent to go retrieve them as a backup weapon to help take out the Super Putties, and they had to get them from the Guardian Zord. Titanus was protecting them. We'll get into him in a second, but they used them in one episode, so they could attach to the back of the Blade Blasters. Very cool, but underutilized. Moving on to the Rangers' individual weapons. They had Jason had the power sword, just your typical red sword. Trini had the power daggers, just two small handheld daggers. Billy had the power lance, which was a full lance and that could be broken apart for two baton-like modes.
With Triceratops points on
Yeah,
it.
3-pronged, which was very cool. And since you said that, like the power daggers had their normal dagger, but on each side had a little claw piece that was like the saber-tooth tiger fangs. I always thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
They were very subtle weapons, but very. Oh, that fits.
Zach?
Yeah, Zach had the power axe, which was, I would have to say, was probably the freshest of the weapons because it was a full axe, but he could flip it around, pull the handle up, and it was a cannon. Mm-hmm. He had a full blaster himself. The other Rangers, they were all kind of like, they were one weapon.
Tommy
Tommy had the dragon dagger, which was a flute, which was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
That was probably the coolest weapon at the time.
Yeah, probably one of the coolest weapons in Power Rangers as a whole throughout the years.
Especially as a 6 Ranger weapon or individual Ranger weapon. He could play tunes on it, and they did different things. Mainly controlled his Zord. Mm-hmm. We also skipped Kimberly, the power bow, which is a bow and arrow. Not knocking it, but it's a bow and arrow. It's pretty self-explanatory. The 5 core Rangers could put their weapons together to form the Power Blaster, which was pretty cool. It was always fun, it was getting real in the episode when they had to do that. They'd start throwing them up in the air, and they'd all form, and then Jason would jump up and grab it, and the other ones would put their hands on them because, you have to absorb some of the shock from it. Yeah. So, but yeah, sad thing, they never did anything where they could put the Dragon Dagger with the Power Blaster. You'd think they would have put it on top, loaded it into the cannon, something like that. The only thing they did in the one episode with the Guitardo monster, Kimberly took the power bow and launched the Dragon Dagger from it. I thought that was pretty fresh, but that one time. So that's, that was pretty much it for the Rangers and their weapons. Do you want to continue with the Zords, or do you want to save that for tomorrow?
We'll save that for another video.
Yeah. Sorry to tease you guys, but we're kind of taking this on a whim here. So sometimes we just get away from ourselves, and we don't want to keep you stuck for a half an hour. I know you don't want to hear us talking that much. So tune back in next time as we'll take on the Zords for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 1. Everybody loved those Zords when they came out, so that's pretty much all we have to say today. Have a good one.